So do you see the series here, Consonants? It's about Neil Peart, it's about John Mayer, it's about Eddie Van Halen, it's Jaco Pastorius, it's John Petrucci. All these are huge, huge names. And Crescendo is, by the way, a music society. I'm a guitarist there. And all these, this is where it began. This is exactly where it began. And I wrote this for Consonants. Consonants was just my initiative. Actually, my brainchild. It isn't just my initiative. It's just how I wanted things to be. Wherein in a pandemic, a lot of people separated from their instruments. They were right in front of our eyes, but we couldn't play any. So I just wanted to convey how if you would just sit back and listen to your influences, just the very basic influences of your beginning. And this is not just applicable to musicians, so don't think it's very esoteric or arcane. It's applicable to writers, it's applicable to playwriters. मुंशी प्रेमचंद की अगर तुमको कभी लगे कि मेरे से आज लिखा नहीं जा रहा है, you go and read मुंशी प्रेमचंद's one play. And various other satires, various other plays that are out there, from which you could have started from any small portion there. So this was just the beginning of Consonants, and I'm really exhilarated to have seen all of this come to fruition. This particular post of John Mayer did really well. It did well than most of our posts, and it's just a series of I've helped other people convey what they felt about artists. This is just a whole series of people writing about artists, and I was really grateful to have come across this initiative of mine coming to fruition. Then I think again, how do all these things pop up? How do this particular image of a creative writing present itself in your brain, in your arms, before you produce it on a Word doc? It's really something that cannot be taught. It's something that comes out of nowhere. Which is why everyone present here is an artist, and artists are adored because they produce something out of absolute zero, absolute nothing. So it was just by mere observation, wherein I couldn't play my instrument. I wanted to convey that. I wanted to let it out. I wanted to convey that sort of a feeling, and I knew I wasn't alone as a musician. So enough blabbering about musician. For Nakshatra, I did this post, and this post you guys can. I'm not trying to endorse myself, but अगर अभी समझ में ना आए तो पेज पे जाके पढ़ लेना. This particular post, it's actually a cross section between mathematics and music. So like I said, it can start off from any general place. And hearing others talk about these very subjects can help you start writing something of your own. Herein, I've talked of a band who have constructed a song around the Fibonacci series. The song is not about Fibonacci series. The song flows in accordance with the Fibonacci series. It's a very interesting phenomenon. I did this particular post. For instance, you can read just this slide, and I won't take any more of your time because we have Alankriti, who also has some really constructive insights into this. It has been really fun to work alongside Avitak. So this is something that I observed. Not मेरी अकेले की observation नहीं है. It's like a whole cult behind this band, and I just wanted to put this up on Nakshatra. I asked my seniors. They were like, cool. I sent them the first draft. I made the graphics. I did all of that. I asked for help. Do not worry about help. जहाँ से तुम help ले सकते हो लो. It'll only help you. हाँ मतलब मैं ज़्यादा ही help बोल रहा हूँ. So just this particular post, it was really fun to work on. Make sure when you're starting under someone's guidance, that you're not left as though हाँ यार देख लेगा इंसान. When I joined ESIL, I had an established team of content writers who were there to help me. And even before that, I had my sister. All right. So these things are imperative. All right. You can find them here at Shakespeare, or you can find them in any other society. So one thing is definitely certain, that someone has to be there with you to scrutinize your piece. And for you to start writing, of course, you cannot straight off jump into, these humongous pieces of, The Wire, or say a series like Consonants. You can start off by, say, writing social media captions for whatever society you're in. You can convey it. You can start it with a quote and make sure it's of relevance to what you're about to write. That should be the first thing of your content. And if you're circulating it on WhatsApp, make sure you embolden it. That's not my OCD, but something that that's bound to help the reader stay and read your piece. Then in the next paragraph, you address what's about to happen. You address which organization is about to organize that event or orchestrate that event. Use good words. One thing is, I really want to throw it out there. Please use good words. I've often been pointed out at, bring down the vocabulary. I do that, but I take it with a hint of salt. But personally, using good words, I'm not saying a very complex vocabulary, but just using good words, I'm really sorry. It helps you a lot. People say that, if it's a simple content, people will stay and read, your post will get a good outreach. That's bollocks. That's bollocks. It's social media. It's a day where social media is raging and everyone has ADD. All right. So just use good words. Those who are to stay and read, they will read it. And it might sound like my opinion, but it also entrusts the readers that you're writing for. And yeah, your first paragraph should convey what's happening, and so forth and so on. But in the next paragraph, you can actually address a bigger issue. And again, not leaning towards any particular side. You can address the pandemic. You can address any sort of unrest in the country. You can address any sort of parity. You can address socioeconomic issues. And take my word, it can be for something as simple as a holy caption. So try conveying what's happening around you, and at the same time conveying what the post is about. So I think these were some things that were there in my mind. And of course, creativity is something that you cannot define, because if you start defining creativity, it becomes academic, and if it becomes academic, you'll be done with it, unless academics is your passion. Starting can be taking any one of your skill or umpteenth skills that you have, and just compressing all of that. Use good words. Refrain from using so and of, all these words. Use them in a very productive manner. All right, you can actually cut down on such words and create room in your writing so that a person can skim through it very easily. All these things help you in your CV as well. All right, so starting off can be very simple. It can be very simple. It can be that escape velocity.